It's the Cable
I think I'm going to pack one, pick one this Saga. That's what I'm going to do. The Gut's tempting. Just get a little aggro with it. Aggro it up. Time to open some power. Right? We could use some power. We had a lot nice mana crypt game out of that last deck, but never really popped off with it. Never really had like fast bond in our opening. Yeah. Alright. Demonic Tutor and Archon in the same pack is like kind of a signal, huh? The white cards aren't exactly flowing. I'm gonna grab this Archon. We'll see if that does anything for me. As far as good-ass Nadus go, that one was up there. That was really high up there, huh? My decision to, like, sit behind my counterspell. Well, I mean, if I had slammed the Oko, like, they just would have force-willed that, right? It's not like I had an actual choice. Or a winning line in there. Archon and Grizzlebrand are pretty fucking sick. And then Metamorphosis or Show and Tell. Could wheel one of those, huh? Get out to the goddamn races. Yeah, not really looking at Tinker. The Worm's interesting if we scooped up ourselves up a Flash. Could play okay. I think I'm just going to grab Liliana. Just have a nice little discard outlet here. The one line that might have worked is countering the Lightning Greaves. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Would have been a real shame to forget about that. Oh, fucking good-ass Lightning Greaves, huh? Cool rewards for the donations. Very cool. Both Magic Online and Breakthrough Type 1 Diabetes put up some cool rewards. Ooh, Currency Converter in my Reanimator deck. Don't mind if I do. Speaking of donations and rewards, I'd like to shout out Urine Stream for donating $25 to Type 1 Diabetes research. You fucking rule, Urine Stream. And Badagaboosh has a nice donation of $69.69. Hell yeah. Cheers, Badagaboosh. I could see playing this him. I could see it. Hey, Guile, thanks for the 4 months there. What does JDRF mean? That's their old name. It used to be referring to Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And they currently have a larger scope than that. So they renamed. The charity was formed back in the 70s, actually, by families of people with diabetes. Is this best of 3? It is. We got that Metamorphosis Fanatic. Sewers could be good, too. What if we see a Frog later, and then I don't have this Sewers? I'll feel like such an idiot. Cool thing about Fnatic is if we get ourselves like a Vamp Tutor or something, we can just like pop it right to the top. Much better than Vamp Tutoring for a typical removal spell. Well, looks like our colors are open at least. Oh, Entomb. We're going to take that Entomb. I got excited about this Delta that my eyes went over. We're going to get a nice wheel out of this pack, too, whether it's the Triumph or the Harvester. I don't pass Entomb when I'm reanimating, though. I just don't. Wow, that's a long time, Cambo. Sorry about the diabetes. What power would I take Entomb over? Probably blue power. Yeah, Moxjet's the only... Moxjet and Black Lotus are the only two that I'm, like, really confident I would take over Entomb in that spot. One issue with taking Entomb overpower is that currently we don't have a reanimation effect. So in a way, Entomb is still speculative, even though we have all of this. Even though we have all this cool shit to reanimate. Thinking about this probe. I wonder if I should just throw a probe in here. I feel like I never have space for probe. Too tight for a probe, yeah. My deck lists are usually too tight for good probing. So you either have to like play 61 cards and then it's kind of just like hanging off the end, right? Just like not quite squeaking in. Or you have to make some real tough decisions and just force it on in there. It's painful. It's hard to cut the 60th card, you know? Hey, Simultanuka, thanks for the sob, thanks 87 months. Hell yeah. Buddhist God says, cube. Yeah. I'm gonna grab this Through the Breach, actually. FOMO is interesting in Reanimator. Nice way to, like, bin a thing. But Breach actually, like, helps our deck work. These cards are both kind of mopey here. Preacher's actually okay to, like, Dark Ritual out turn 1. It's like, that's basically the only spot I really like it, in the cube. I'm gonna grab Fiery for the sideboard. Hey, here we go. Voidwalker is a great card. I love playing in a Reanimator, but we need this Necromancy. It's like a very necessary thing for our deck right now, so happy with that scoop up. Is there a chance I play that Wheel of Fortune? Yeah, there's a chance. A little troll action. That's going to help my mana base and give me a backup thing to reanimate and spit out a 2/2 from the currency converter. Turn 1 currency converter. Turn 2, like, been trolled, get Blood Crypt, get a 2/2. Already out there blocking, doing stuff. Got the Harvester Wheel as expected. Nice. Should they cut Probe from the cube? I don't think so. I don't even think it's the worst cantrip in the cube. I would cut Thought Scour before it. Look at this Philia going around. That's what this Philia going around. Like one of the best cards in the cube. Currently what the deck is missing is like Hand Disruption or Fast Mana. We'd love both, but like if we get one or the other, we'll be in a better spot here. Yeah, I've had the Exile from Suplex come up. Versus like the One Ring. Galvanic Blast is one that I would cut from the cube. If you're not supporting red artifacts with stuff like Welder and such, then it's just kind of an awkward card to have in. People might see this if they haven't drafted the cube before and be like, oh, red artifacts is supported. It's not. Not really. Wow, Bolt and FOMO came back. I'm going to take the FOMO here because we already have some 1-mana removals. Bolt's so good, though. Hard to say no to Bolt. This would be a pretty sick Recurring Nightmare deck, huh? With Bloodtide Harvester and FOMO binning. I like this tune. I'm not quite in the mood for it. I'm gonna skip on down. That's a sick-ass pack right there. Bowmasters and Vamp Tutor are the two that have me drooling. Bowmaster is playing particularly well with this Wheel of Fortune and just being a great card in general. And Vamp Tutor playing very well with that Metamorphosis Fanatic that we got earlier. Would really give a nice layer of consistency to the old deck here. Pack one, pick one. I have Bowmasters way higher than Vamp Tutor, but with our current stack of cards, I think it's quite close. Can't really count on either of them wheeling. I think I would rather cut the Wheel of Fortune and play the Vamp Tutor here. Grab ourselves a little Badlands, Both Duress and Lotus Petal help us out quite a bit. I think I'm going to take that Duress. As much as I love a good Atali, I'm going to grab this Grief. That'll also help force our stuff through. Not desperate enough for a Corpse Dance. So the Vamp Tutor just gave us essentially another reanimation effect, right? With Vamp for Metamorphosis. So now we've got Necromancy, Vamp plus Metamorphosis, and Through the Breach. We're doing a lot better. Doing a lot better in terms of cheating things into play. I don't really want any of this shit. If the Corpse Dance comes back, I'll probably end up playing it. Assuming I don't find another quality reanimation effect here. I'll go Bone Shards. Ooh, Exhume and Life Death, huh? Exhume can be awkward with Grief. Because you sometimes you want to take their creature and then you're giving it back to them. So Life Death's a lot better with Grief. Exhume not hitting your life total can be really good against aggro decks, though. I'm going to go with the Life Death, but I think it's kind of close. Wow. Yeah, I'll play a Ragavan. We got some early game removal spells. Could punch it through. So here you will either want to grab Soul Cauldron for the Reanimator Mirror. Also plays really well with our Grizzlebrand here. Or we want to grab that Discharge, because Discharge is better than Chain Lightning in this deck. Just upgrade a slot, I guess. I think I'm going to grab Soul Cauldron for the sideboard. Got plenty of playables here. Inti plays well in these Reanimator decks. I don't know if I'm going to have space for it. Maybe it works. Maybe I just got the Seasoned Pyromancer. Get the Inti in. It's cute with Ragavan sometimes. Opponent plays an 0-3, and you're like, alright, discard. Smells like charity in here. Hell yeah, Treskies. Smells like gamers doing good work for a good cause. That's what it smells like. Speaking of, hey, Putis Gods, I see you with that $30 donation. Fuck yeah. Galvanic Blast seems odd without other energy cards. Hey, we got the Exhume. There are other energy cards in the cube, Master Mike. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good, even if you don't have any others. The instant speed is quite nice. You love the smell of gamers in the evening? Oh, man. That's how you know you haven't played in a tournament in a long time. Yeah, I might cut Pyromancer. I might cut Liliana. Is that weird? This deck would have loved a Dark Ritual. The Exhume last pick is super nice, yeah. Yeah, maybe I cut the Corpse Dance, huh? Since we got the Exhume back. Kind of looks like Liliana and Jataxian Probe are going to be the last couple of cuts. What if I played 16 mana sources? Like, just cut Liliana here and jam 16. We have that Through the Breach on 5, but, like, everything else in the deck is very cheap. I do like Liliana with Currency Converter. Oh, well. Wow, they're recommending very few red sources. It's because when Magic Online suggests a mana base, they're looking at your whole curve. So they're weighting the stack of like Grizzlebrands and stuff as just as important as these early game cards. Oh, let's play Liliana over Hymn to Turok. Let's do that. That makes more sense. So that's the main adjustment that you have to make when you're looking at your mana base is one, we're not going to play an island for Jataxian Probe. No thank you, Magic Online. And then two, I'm going to reweight this because I want more than 5 red sources, right? And I kind of want to be able to play that Ragavan on turn 1 sometimes. We want like 10 minimum black sources. Right now we're at 12. This would be 6 red. Let's go up to 7. 7 untapped red turn 1. Looks good. I think we're at 11 black sources total, which is still plenty. And without the hymn, we never need double black on turn 2. Well, I shouldn't say never, because you might want to like Entomb plus something else or whatever. So this hand works, but it's very slow, huh? Turn 1 converter, turn 2 activate. No red mana. Well, that's a lot faster. Very cool stuff. It's very clearly just looking at mana symbols, Ruffles. Hey, how Abaji thinks I'm 41 months. I swear you've resubbed 3 times in 2 weeks. Yeah, sometimes Twitch is glitchy, Oh, they're going for it. So that's 28 power. I guess we're blocking, Oh shit, I let up. Hey, thanks, Panic, don't panic. Thanks for 26 months. They got a Berserk for me for the last card. They do not. Now we're gonna go snag that Necromancy. And this will snag the last card out of their hand. They almost did the thing. I mean, they attacked me for fucking 28 trample through an edict, so I'd say they certainly did the thing. What Ragavan should have gotten cut for some random removal spell. You like mustard-based barbecue? I like mustard in my, you know, if I'm like making a sauce for ribs and stuff. I'll certainly use some mustard in there. I don't know if I would ever call it mustard based though. Usually I'll use like an apricot glaze or something as the base. I think we're just activating the converter here. A little weird to have been a gas card there. I kind of wanted another 2-2. think this is going to kill faster than Troll. Now the rogue tokens are going to be 5/5s on this next turn. Fair enough. Well, maybe I'm supposed to keep my 3/3s back here. Can also attack them for 6 down to 9. Oh, they only have one card in hand. That's what it is. Okay. I feel like this crab might be quite good. What do y'all think? Did they just miscount? I feel like they did. For the Uvenwald. If it dies, I get to control the death trigger too. Very cool. Look at me winning a match eventually. Very exciting. Oh, nice. They got a non-creature for me to grab first. And this Exhume won't give them a thing back. And now they have a single Ephemerate. How about that, huh? Should I just reanimate their Jacked Rabbit? Just start making 1/1s? Probably not. Where's that red mana at, huh? Yeah, you got it. Very glad I didn't steal the Jacked Rabbit, huh? They would have just blinkered that back onto their side. On the other hand, still tempting to steal the rabbit. We have this Grizzlebrand though, right? How hard is it going to be to bin that Grizzlebrand? Probably not that hard. Ah, fuck. Maybe they'll have an answer to their own line sash, huh? Casting the Grizzlebrand? Yeah, we're pretty close to that, huh? So the last card is Ephemerate, which makes this Chain Lightning a little bit less exciting than you'd think. Just guaranteeing that we have our 8th mana source lined up for next turn. Just gonna leave that one in exile, huh? You think the no equip is weird? I think it makes sense. If they think I'm a graveyard deck and they want to hold up both Ephemerate and multiple Lion Sash activations, then there's no real reason to equip the Glimmer Lens. Can always do it next turn. Play around more stuff. Priest does turn off Ephemerate, but it burns my 8th mana that I want for this Grizzlebrand, and shuts off a lot of my deck. So I don't know why I would cast Priest. Boo. They finally answered my Mother of Runes. Yeah, they have lethal here because they had a counter from the Luminarch. I was just thinking they could have squeezed one more damage by Ephemerate blinking their Skyclave to get a 1/1 and then untapped and pathed. But they have Xyxes anyway. Hell yeah, breakthrough type 1 diabetes. It's going well so far, huh? Oh, this is just day 1. There's an unfortunate little path there. I think I want some combination of these. Maybe another red source. As good as Ragavan was, I think I'm going to cut it here in this particular matchup. I do not Maze Law. I do not have type 1 diabetes, but that doesn't mean that I can't help contribute in this charity drive, right? Hey, Rita Rabbit, thanks for the raid. Rita Rabbit also in the middle of this trophy race. How was your stream, Reed? Any trophies? I saw you had a shitload of donations. Absolutely crushing it. Doing good for a good cause. You love to see it. What is Sir Barrington's first name? Sir. Next question. One trophy with a blue-black deck. Nice. Yeah, I almost like this hand. With Currency Converter and Bone Shards working well together. Gotta send it back though, huh? Those one-landers. Well, guess we try this again, huh? I am grabbing that Palace Jailer. Get that out of there. I've been impressed with this MacD card so far. Hell yeah, breakthrough type 1 diabetes. Yeah, when BDM asked me to be part of this charity drive, I immediately looked up the charity. Has incredibly good reviews on Charity Navigator. Just top tier stuff. And then I looked into all the good that the charity itself has done over the decades. And that's also been a lot. Trying to figure if I should be serving both here. If I rip an untapped red source, I could Confluence hit creatures for 1. That could end up being good. I think they probably are running Aspirant out next turn. Yeah, let's just serve. Looks like we get to go to game 3 here. I'd like to thank that Ancient Tomb for the assist. I wonder if I should be trying to get like mid-rangey. Like get that Glorybringer and Gut in here. And the Inti, just try and like attack. Maybe the Crab could come out. Crab's pretty good. Let's got Knight's Whisper for Inti. They do have a lot of nice answers to Gut tokens, like Flicker Wisp and stuff. Glorybringer could be good for fighting over initiative. Yeah, let's cut Crab for Glorybringer and try that out. I think Ragavan is difficult to get in with versus a White Weenie opponent. They're going to flood the board with critters, and you're going to sit there looking at your 1-mana 2/1 and be sad. Ragavan is in the main deck, and we actually boarded it out because it's not an ideal matchup for it. Yeah, you want to thirst the Mother of Runes immediately, but if you wait a turn to reanimate, you're opening yourself up to more graveyard hate. In particular, the Lion Sash, which we know they have in their deck. So instead, we're just going to Entomb Exhume here. Get that Archon in play. This line could have waltzed into Containment Priest. But fortunately, they didn't have it. Sure. Interesting. Still gonna run out Converter. You don't want to YOLO Necromancy the Palace Jailer here, because it could actually give the opponent a way back into the game. If they drew like Flicker Wisp, then they could Flicker Wisp, get their Palace Jailer, use that to exile the Archon, you know, and it could just turn into disaster. So you don't want to get too greedy in this spot. They're ahead, the Archon attacks are winning the game. You get this Converter, and just get a little bit of Converter value. Keep on grinding. Hey, we got our first finals of the race. I was sitting there with like some hours to kill before my flight, and I noticed some other Magic players. And I went over and asked if they had any decks or anything. And one of them was down a game, but the only deck he had on him was a standard deck. And I think we played 5 games, and the standard deck 5-0'd me. Because Phyrexian Negator, even if you're playing at turn 1, is just like not a very good standard card. And my Null Rods are all worthless, and my Wasteland had no targets. And the guy's friend is watching. I was like, what's going on here? Shouldn't the vintage deck just be rocking? It's like, no, not this one. Hey, Bands with Legends, thanks for the 91 months there. Raid. Hey, Jorbs, thanks for the raid. What is up, friends? Jorbs will, of course, be joining us in a brief moment. Pretty good timing, too, as we're almost done with this little draft. A Jorbs show up, yes. Thank you for the raid, Jorbs. Welcome, Raiders. We're playing some Magic the Gathering here. We're in the middle of a cube trophy race. Benefiting Breakthrough Type 1 Diabetes. The main... The main research organization. The main charity funding research for that particular disease. They've done a lot of good work already. Super solid charity. And a lot of the research has helped out other autoimmune diseases and such. So, if we tutor up Archon here, that'll give me a little bit of life back immediately. The issue is they've got Palace Jailer, and so if they hit their land number 4, they can just exile it immediately, and I'm in a rough spot. But if I reanimate Grizzlebrand, I'll go to 7. That doesn't really help me either. What about the crab? What if I just reanimated the crab here? Just like tried to high roll for the Palace Jailer? I think I'm supposed to get the Archon. That was an awkward draw. Yeah, they missed a land drop earlier, so hoping for them to fade. Not crazy. Could just kill 2 things here. I think I want to chill. And if they hit the lane for Palace Jailer, then I eat the 5 damage. And return through the Breach Metamorphosis, and then Blood Chief's Thirst. Oh, that doesn't work, does it? Because they would get a token from the Ocelot Pride. Yeah, that wouldn't quite work. Damn. Oh, they only have 1 card in hand. Lilion Uptick's good. Well, let's do that then. Yeah, please no backseating, folks. Gonna give it a turn here. I think I'm gonna kill the Ajani. Let them hit me down to 3. Then they have 0 cards, so they're not going to trigger the Cosmogrand here. And then next turn, if we rip a mana source for the Metamorphosis, we can stabilize. The Ajani would be pretty terrifying if we Archon and they sack the cat, and then they can start bolting things. I think the opponent's rightmost land is really pretty. It really is, isn't it? That's one of the main draws to me from Magic. Like when I was a child and I was originally drawn into this game, like the art was a big selling point for me. And that's just been a constant throughout the game's history. My alarm just went off to remind me that Jorbs is going to be joining me. Perfect timing. All right, well, we lost this game, but we were actually very close to coming back. Because land off the top there, you get to Metamorphosis back the Archon. I think you get to win that one. Grizzlebrand, no help. Oh shit, what up? AC Stone Debate thinks 104 months. Alright, I'm gonna sideboard like I did in the previous matchup. Let's get Jorbs in here. That's me. How's it going? How's your stream? Hold on. I think you're gonna be a little quiet for folks. A couple different ways I can adjust that. Let me get you in OBS. Can you talk? You can't? Oh no. This is gonna be an awkward guest spot then. Much better. This is indeed Jorbs, yeah. Yeah, keep on chatting. Let's see if sounds good. This is a good level. With the power of friendship. My favorite shape overall. Huh. Well, I guess I gotta go with something's drawing me to say cube. I just don't know what. When's the last time you vintage cubed? There's some sweet cards. Yeah, actually. There's a lot of really obnoxious ones on Arena. There's an Arena cube, and there's just like a whole bunch of cards that were like made specifically for Arena. And a lot of the times, I'm just like hit with this wall of text, and I'm like, why did they do this? This makes no sense whatsoever. And it's like, the payoff is just like not there. Right, yes. Yep. Full time for my job. They're releasing so many cards. Some of them just have too much goddamn text on them. There's cards on Arena that aren't just, you're not just drafting that one card. It also splits off into a spell book. So you're like, it'll like flip into like another creature that does indeterminate things, and then it'll get a card at random from like the 15 cards that you can choose. You know, it's just like layers and layers. And anyway, that said, there are a couple of those wonky cards that are some of my absolute favorites. There's one that tutors the power 9 into your deck. So you just like shuffle a Black Lotus, an Ancestral Recall, a Time Walk, just like all that stuff into your deck. And so now you got these like real bangers, but you also have like a bunch of Moxen in there to draw through. It's very fun. It's not in Standard. It could be, yes. Yeah. So you're disappointed. Like, no, I knew what those ones did. Fair enough. Oh, should I be share? I should share screen with you, and you can watch in real time. That makes way more sense. When you can look at that through. Yep. And we did just beat that matchup, but it was close, and now we just dropped a first round here, so we're certainly not favored, but that's all right. 3-0 or nothing. Yeah, I've already dropped a couple of drafts today because we lost the first round. I was like, okay, well, this draft's no good. Throw it away. Give me a new draft, a better draft. Did you ever have a affinity pairing in Magic? Were you ever drawn to a particular flavor of the colors? Sure. Sure, yeah. Meta considerations, yeah. Oh, I need to Vampiric Tutor now. There's a line of text on Voice of Victory. It says your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So I should probably play this this instant card on my turn. That card has existed for a long time. It's Show and Tell, and it is a blue card. We do have reanimation effects. Through the Breach is in here. It does cost 5 mana. Yeah, you're right. We could tutor for a loot effect just to get something rolling. Okay. We could also just reanimate a Troll or a Grief, but that doesn't seem very good. The cool thing about reanimating Grief is then you can hit the Witch Enchanter out of their hand. Anti-witches and anti-enchanters. All witches? There's no witch from throughout, like, lore or something that you were a fan of? Fair enough. I'm thinking about just grabbing Liliana. Actually, do I have 2 red? I have 2 red. Let's grab Seasoned Pyromancer. Perfect. I kind of dug the Witch in Sword in the Stone. The Disney one, yeah. They have a Wizard's Duel. They have a Wizard's Duel in that movie. It was like one of my favorites when I was a child. And when Merlin suggests a Wizard's Duel to like settle their grievances, she like responds so mockingly, like, "Oh, you want to have a Wizard's Duel?" Like fucking just this like layer of sarcasm that I always really enjoyed. Yeah, I'm just gonna tutor up this here Archon here. I don't see any other graveyard value thingies. Did you have a favorite childhood film? Oh, sure. Oh, okay, yeah. Someone's gotta. Someone mentions Baba Yaga, Morgan in Dragon Age. What about Stregonona? Are you familiar with the tale of Stregonona? So there's this witch in the town, right? And the main power that we see her use her magic for is making pasta. She's got this magic pot that just like makes dope amounts of pasta, and she has an apprentice who kind of sucks, and he's always like jealously looking at the cauldron with the pasta and stuff. And she leaves, and she's like, "Okay, you can look after the place, but for the love of God, don't do anything with my magic pot of pasta here." And he's like, "No problem." Obviously, he gets into it. He's like, "I can do it. I can use this magic cauldron." I'm going based on my memory as like a small child here, so I might be super off, but this is what I remember. Anyway, and so he can't turn the cauldron off, and it's just like spraying spaghetti all over the town, and the town is just like spaghetti flooded. And then she finally shows back up, and she turns off the spaghetti fountain, and he's like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "Well, the punishment's gotta fit the crime," and she hands him a fork, and it makes him eat it all. And when I was hearing this story as a kid, I was all jealous. I was like, I could eat all that fucking pasta then. Yeah, well, an entire town, that's a lot. Like physically, it might take me a bit. And it's all cooked too. Right? Ah. It does, yeah. This Liliana, it's not going to help us. The opponent put a magic otter to their hand. They just get a magic otter. That's the ability. They just like have it at the start of every game, and it has flash, so they can flash it in and eat the Liliana Edict. Yep. Yeah, all of the companions got nerfed. Wizards has like never just straight up like nerfed one of their cards in paper before. Really? I mean, I guess that's not true. They've made They've made nerfs to stuff like Flash and stuff over the years, but they've done their darndest to go back and like remove all the power level nerfs. And if they have to ban stuff, they have to ban stuff, and like have the cards like function as printed. They've aimed for that consistency, but they did change companion. They did just like straight up tack 3 more mana onto every single companion because they were so busted. Anyway, we're still going to Liliana Edict, but it's just going to eat the Lutri, and then they'll clear us down to 5, or maybe they'll send a ping at the Liliana, and then it'll give me a chance to possibly give me a turn to rip some other answer. Oh, they do, yeah. This is a heads-up opponent. This is a finals, Jorbs. You came in here on the finals. Was that the one that we teamed for? For those of you that did not watch this event, it was, for one, a blast. But basically, Wizards wanted to do a tournament for Magic streamers and a combination, like teaming up with non-Magic streamers. So they had like some people that they had hand selected, and then if you had somebody in mind from outside the community, you could message them and they could okay it. And I was like, oh, Jorbs. And I like immediately went on social media into his DMs like, Jorbs, like in all caps. You got a team with me for this? It's going to be so much fun. And we didn't win, but we did win the losers bracket. And that's not bad. It's similar.